Find out what's hot and what's not.
We watch your programme every week.
Welcome back to Serious Clubbing and the best way to check out what it's all about. Our next stop is Lush at Kelly's in Portrush, and that's following Touch Magazine's dance charts.
Number 10 is Incognito with Night So Bridget. Number 9, Model 500, Be Brave.
At number 8, we have Harry Choo Choo Romero presents In Your Day, Just Can't Get Enough.
Number 7 is Armand Van Helden, You Don't Know Me.
And number 6 is Calvin Singh, Spike and Vampire.
Number 5, Soul Searcher, I Can't Get Enough.
Number 4 is The Roots, Adrenaline.
And number 3 is Pete Heller, Big Love.
Number 2 is
Busta Rhymes,
Tear the Roof Off.
Give Me Some More.
Hell yeah.
Number 1, Bob Sinclair, My Only Love.
I'm Gordon Kay, and you're watching CLUBAVISION on ITV.
Lush has already proved as an important milestone in Irish clubbing. With a 3-year history of playing host to some of the world's premier DJs, the atmosphere has to be seen to be believed. Lush takes place at Kelly's Complex every Saturday in Portrush. Is this clubbing without pretension? Well, that's what we're about to find out. Man. Hey, Alan.
Hello.
I've just got to say, I didn't think there was any cars in there.
You trying to make a spectacle of me?
Right, so Alan, on a more serious note, Lush has been running for roughly about 2 years. Have you been here from the start? Was it your invention?
Yeah, I was here at the start along with Colin. It was our child. We got together and we formed a baby called Lush, and now it's growing into a monster. It's actually, Kelly's is an enormous being of a complex. It's, I say this all the time, but it is humongous. I just count myself. There's 13 bars. There's 3 clubs. Wednesday night we do a thing called the Midweekend, which is the biggest student party in the entire island of Ireland. Lush is, I hate saying it's a glam club, but it is. It's one of the dressier clubs in Northern Ireland, but it's not label based. You know, we would have a tight door policy, but it's not label based.
You have a door picker.
Yeah, I'm him. I'm the most popular and also the most unpopular man in Northern Ireland. Everything in England tends to get sort of very much been there, seen it, done it before. You go to a club, they're used to having Jeremy Healy every Saturday night. They're used to seeing Paul Oakenfold. For years, Northern Ireland people were sort of starved of having seeing the big names. They still appreciate it, and it doesn't matter if it's a third division DJ, a second division, or a Premier League. They're going to show their appreciation for these guys coming over from England because they have been so starved for so long, and they're going to make a hell of a night of it. But as I say, it's the English thing. You know, you're around the same clubs, the same circuit, seeing the same people every week. You come over to Northern Ireland people always go bonkers.
Do you feel deprived in any way? Like, do you suffer from any restrictions, drinking and licensing laws?
Well, obviously coming into the European community, things will possibly change. At the minute, the licensing law in Portrush is 1:30 close on a Saturday night. A lot of English people find that hard to believe. We had actually a full house last Saturday night before some other clubs had even opened their doors. So people do get value for money. They're here for the full 5.5 hours or whatever it is. They're not going to wander in here at 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock. They're here from doors open 9 o'clock. Once we open the doors, it's Stampedesville. Last summer we noticed a lot more French and Spanish and Germans, and they're orientated to not going out until midnight. They're coming here and going, what is happening? I have about 1 Guinness and you close now? And that was only the people from Ballymena. But
Right, we're in the bosom of of the Kelly's Complex, and I'm joined by Gordon Kay. Right, a little bit of history. Back in '85, you started your own club in your native town of Brighton. Is this when the whole urge set in for DJing, clubs, music?
For me, yeah, really, because like, you know, I've always been collecting records and that kind of thing. And it just went from there, you know, to like doing people tapes at school and things like that, because I just wanted, you know, people to listen to good music.
Going back to the club, I want to know a little bit about it, because back then the club's music policy pushed out loads of musical boundaries.
We just covered absolutely everything. You go from like the Velvet Underground to sort of Jimi Hendrix to a lot of sort of Primal Scream and those sorts of bands. There were no boundaries at all with it. And, you know, all our regulars, we had regulars. Norman Cook used to come down all the time, and we had Damien from Skint and Alan McGee and all Primal Scream, because they all lived in Brighton at the time. It's just great. It's like one big sort of family kind of thing. In those days, you could, you know, just drop records in, stop records in the middle of them and stuff, and start others. And I don't think there's that freedom at the moment. It's quite hard actually, DJing and promoting on the same night. You know, there's a lot going on there when you're standing behind the decks and you're thinking, oh, is that DJ going to turn up? Is this DJ going to turn up? And, you know, you're always thinking about other things. So it's nice to actually just concentrate on playing the records.
On the production front, you go under different pseudonyms for remixing and producing. For example, Joy for Life with Stress Records. Enlighten us on some other ones.
There was First Joy for Whoop Records. There was a Cafe Del Mar thing I did for Volume 3, which was Panama Bazaar. There have been literally quite a few, but now, I mean, the whole sort of direction of things now for me is basically to just go under my own name. It's time to collect everything under one name. I think the time is right to try and channel, you know, all the different production styles into one thing and just put your name to it.
And you've just built a studio, haven't you?
I have, yeah. That's going really well at home and everything. And
so you built it at home?
Yeah, I built it at home, yeah. Yeah, oh yes, in the house, yeah. You can pop downstairs for a cup of tea and then come back up and everything. No, it's really good. It's really relaxed. I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure on people when they go in the studio. Obviously, you're paying for studio time for use professional studios. There's basically no sort of financial time limit on it. Yeah. So you can just relax and get on with it, and you can just take your time to do it.
Right, another DJ to join the ever-increasing roster of Galaxy FM. But where do you slot in? What time do you play?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's going to be between 11 and midnight on a Saturday once a month.
So how did you get this opportunity? Did they see you as number 11? Was it number 11? The DJ?
It was number 11. Thank you, everybody, for voting for me.
One of the definite perks of DJing is travelling the world, and that's exactly what you've been doing, haven't you?
Exactly.
So where have you been?
Very recently, in the last couple of weeks, I've been to Singapore, Hong Kong and Australia. I did Perth, Adelaide and Sydney. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable, basically. I mean, I'd never sort of experienced the culture of Hong Kong and Singapore before. And I always do Australia every year. I go out there in November and have a great time. But this year, last year I did New Zealand as well. And this year I sort of incorporated Hong Kong and Singapore. The culture's fantastic.
So what are you going to be doing New Year's Eve? What are you going to be doing Christmas as well?
New Year's Eve, I'm going to be at my favourite venue in the UK, I think, which is actually the Empire in Middlesbrough, the Sugar Shack. It's just an amazing venue.
So the Barrys look after you.
The Barrys, Ashley.
This is Alan Simpson at Lush at Kelly's Portrush, and you're watching CLUBAVISION, and it's absolutely unreal. I tell you, it was unbelievable.
Got 2 million messengers. How you doing, girls? Hello. Hi. So what brings you out tonight, girls? What's your name?
Samantha. Diane.
Kathy.
And I'm Val.
I take it you're a fan of Lush.
Just a wee bit.
Kelly's has been a top spot for the last 10 years in Northern Ireland.
They come here very early.
Do you like this kind of music?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, yeah.
So what's been so brilliant about it then?
The music, the girls.
Karen, Juanita, Joanne.
I live just outside Belfast, Ballyclare.
Coleraine.
Jordanstown, about 55 miles from here.
No, I'm from Lisburn.
So do you normally come to this club?
Yeah, we come quite a lot.
The queues are mad on a Saturday night from 9 o'clock on. Like, the queues are just bung packed. Doors close about 9:30 on a good night, so it's good.
Forget Sunday Central, God's Kitchen, Gatecrasher Cream. This is the best.
That's quite a statement.
The crowd here is amazing. The atmosphere is so good. Brilliant.
Have you been over to like England and Scotland?
No, but I plan to definitely very soon. Going to Cream and Gatecrasher very soon, yeah, definitely.
We're down here every weekend.
You play table tennis?
And like nothing compares to this on a good night. Nothing.
Come here to see Alan.
So
I'm Marta Colin.
Cream's good, I like cream. It's got a good crowd in cream, but the atmosphere's not as good as here, like.
What the Northern Ireland tourist board should do is actually just buy this place.
If you go into Belfast, there's sort of like, there's the Network and there's Shine, you know. Network's really underground, house music, Shine, it's like techno go, but this is the best, this rules.
Here's a better atmosphere.
It's either here or Thompson's, you know.
Shine or the Network could get called Cox and stuff like that.
So you coming in New Year's Eve?
Not a day. I've been taking a spot, no problem.
I've been here every New Year's Eve for 3 years. It's excellent.
I have a girlfriend at the moment, yeah.
Is she here tonight with you?
She's here tonight, she's downstairs, yeah.
And what about you?
I'm free and single.
I like to see CJ McIntosh or Terry Farley.
Judge Jules.
It has to be Carl Cox.
Who are you married to?
Gordon Kay.
So what are you going to do after? You going to go and have a cheese and pickle sandwich?
Absolutely.
So what happens at 1:30 when it finishes?
Parties. Loads and loads and loads of parties.
Just all around, come back for cheese and toast. Just come back.
Colin Hamilton's got hair.
He has indeed. I'm sprouting a few for you, just to glisten in your camera so it doesn't deflect in everyone's eyes when they're watching TV.
You're a resident here at Lush, at Kelly's, and kind of co-promoter, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Right, it's been tipped that you are to be one of the rocking DJs of '99. Any other Irish talent emerging?
Loads and loads of really good Irish DJs. The N.Ireland are big names, but obviously are never going to make it big in England because it's the same old story of unless you're, blah, 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 you're not going to get booked at Gatecrasher and Cream and all the rest of the big clubs, which is fair point. But in Ireland, there's DJs in Ireland, like whenever, and Friday nights in Ireland, the club scene in Ireland revolves around Irish DJs. DJs like myself and JK and Eamon Began pull big crowds in Ireland. It's all right in England where DJs can play Cream and Gatecrasher and Progress all in the one night and earn, a stack load of money. But it's got to stage now where you try and book some DJs and it's, they'll come to Ireland as long as you pay me like $5,000. And the only reason they're coming is because they're making loads of money. And for us, it's just any DJ like that, we just basically just say, no, it doesn't matter. And you get the good people like Sasha, that's probably one of the biggest names in the world, comes to Ireland for, normal money, which I suppose in a way is like, the money he makes is more than your average DJ. But, if he doesn't ask for double money, then why should some young guy that's just starting to be, make a name for himself? Cream, for me, I always go on about Cream, and everyone in Ireland gives me loads of grief because it's Cream this and Cream that. But for me, the whole ethos of Cream, as in starting in a little small club that held 200 people and going on to basically a multi-million-pound business where the guys that run it are millionaires who literally made millions of pounds. For me, that's what it's all about.
So does James Barton know how you feel about his club?
No, but he knows how I feel about him.
And how do you feel about him?
He's my main man. My lover boy.
Okay, so when you go out with the lads for a night out, you're not DJing, where'd you go? What do you do?
Lap dancing bars, yeah.
Oh, so they have them over here?
They do indeed.
So where's the local one?
If you're watching Martha, I love you, baby.
Okay, right, you've remixed the second club single called Gold, which is the first Irish record, actually, to enter the UK Buzz chart. I mean, that's pretty good. How does that all work?
At the time, it was just put out on a white label. On an Irish label. It wasn't like signed to, blah, 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 all the big English labels. So basically it was just sent out a few tunes to the, the big name DJs. They all liked it, started playing it, and from there it sort of took off a bit. So, which was a good point for Irish. Before that, Irish music was always, apart from David Holmes, it was always looked upon as, if it's from Ireland, it's like, it's like the Pogues type of thing. So I think it put a bit of credibility back into, it made people in England realise that it wasn't just in London and Manchester that people were making music. And since then, there's been loads and loads of Agnelli and Nelson, that type of thing. And there's been loads and loads of big tunes have come out of Ireland since then. And now there's quite a buzz on it. It's made it with actually Chris Agnelli, who is, part of Agnelli and Nelson. It was like a joint collaboration between me, himself and myself.
What about more stuff on the production side of things?
Something might appear in the future, you never know. But at the moment, I'm just happy doing nothing during the week and watching videos and running the club and stuff and going to the pub and drinking beer.
All right, we'll look out for Colin Hamilton's next record. Could be a couple of years, though.
It's called Down the Pub. Down the Pub with the lads.
Well, all I have time for now is to say goodbye and to once again thank you all for watching CLUBAVISION. I'd also like to take this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas and exciting New Year from myself, Lisa Nash, and of course all the rest of the CLUBAVISION crew. We're not here next week, the 25th of December, but we will be back for the final show in this series on New Year's Day, where we take a look back at the last few months. A CLUBAVISION rewind, so make sure you catch it. All the faces in the best places. Can you think of a better way to start the new year?
Please like, tag, share and subscribe.
Now this is CLUBAVISION, and this is how it's done. This is CLUBAVISION, CLUBAVISION #1.
Where's that rave, man?